So guys, welcome back to our channel. And today we are here with Rush, the co-founder of WuBlockchain. Welcome, Rush. Could you
Hello.
briefly introduce yourself to our audience and the recent development of the movement and the team composition?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm Rushi, one of the co-founders of Movement Labs. We're a core contributor to the Movement Foundation and the chain itself. Yeah, kind of a little background on me. I come from engineering background, spent the last 8 years in distributed systems and cryptography. Before crypto, I was working in traditional Web2, working for health insurance companies, really scale databases. So from on-prem databases to cloud architectures was my main background. And then from there, I started building in Move. I was in college when I read this article that Facebook was building a new programming language called Move. Started building in it, built one of the first applications on Aptos. My co-founder built another application. And post FTX, we started Movement. Movement is the first Move EVM layer 2 on Ethereum. It's a fully EVM compatible Move virtual machine. So think parallelized EVM and Move as a layer 2 on Ethereum. We'll be the first parallelized L2 on Ethereum.
So what you just mentioned that you are parallel to Ethereum to EVM. I think that is quite
Yep.
interesting because people want to know how does that execute it actually.
Yep. Yeah. So we built Fractal, which is a EVM interpreter that lives on top of the Move VM. So Solana has Solang and Neon, and we built Fractal, which is built into the EVM, the Move VM itself. So any Solidity code can run. It will fully compile down to Move bytecode and launch the VM. So you will have the same parallelization like Aptos and Sui, and we made that even compatible.
So I noticed that you use the Move language because instead of the more common one like Solidity. So why
Yeah.
choose that? Why you choose to build up your own language?
Yeah, so we support Move and EVM. So we still support Solidity and any EVM apps, but we wanted to build Move because we want high throughput as well as security. So Aptos and Sui and Facebook, they built Move to be the most secure language. Every year, there's $4.5 billion lost in smart contract hacks, and Move was really designed to stop 90% of all attack vectors. So Curve, Kyber, the DAO, all these big hacks you saw aren't possible in Move because you have built-in formal verification. So long story short, Move is the fastest and most secure language, and we also support EVM, so we can support EVM as well as Move, which is more for consumer and high throughput applications.
So as a layer one like chain compatible with Solidity, so I just wondering how can the adoption rate of the Move ecosystem be increased?
Yeah, so I think it's if you look at Solana, it took 4 years for Solana to really become prominent. Move is still in the early years where it takes some time for wallets, infrastructure, applications, and developers to come. The way we approach it is we're bringing EVM developers to Movement as well as bringing Move developers. So when developers come to Movement, they recognize that Move is faster and more secure, so they'll learn Move to pick up. But if they don't want to learn Move, we also support EVM. So kind of we bring Move developers by having EVM compatibility and being parallelized EVM, high throughput EVM, while also supporting Move and teaching them Move.
So M2 actually is committed to build the first Move layer 2 on Ethereum. So what technical advantages do you think compared to the current common like OP rollup and the decay rollup solutions?
Yeah, so I think you have three major rollups, right? You have optimistic rollups, which are like Arbitrum and Optimism, and then you had ZK rollups like ZK Sync, Tycho, Scroll, and the next and final iteration is next gen rollups like Movement. I think Eclipse and a few other folks are working on this. Um, we're really focused on bringing high throughput execution to Ethereum. So if you look at ZK Sync versus Optimism, there's still very, very high fees. It's pretty low. Both chains can do max only 100 transactions per second because it's single-threaded virtual machines. Because Move is multiple-threaded and brings parallelization, we're able to do tens of thousands of TPS on Ethereum, bringing high throughput execution.
Okay. So you can also share with us, I think, some like development or the upcoming events about the movement.
Yeah, so we have
have an
tests.
idea what you expected in the future.
Yep. We have testnet coming in 2 weeks, so around mid-July. You can expect to see a fully front end and play around with testnet. And then mainnet coming around Q3, Q4 this year. And it has some exciting events. So if you're at ECC or if you're at KBW or Token 2049, please reach out.
I think my next question is about the meme coin. So because we all want to know, actually meme culture is actually very popular in this cycle. So I don't know what your perception about this, and does the movement has any strategies or actions in the apps like related to this?
Yeah, we already have meme coins on DevNet Gas. So we're seeing some DevNet meme coins, and I think one of them is up like 40% because just using DevNet Gas. But I think beyond that, what we're seeing is right now meme coins are mostly on Solana because the fees are low, trading experience is better compared to Base, Arbitrum, Optimism. They don't really have meme coin culture because it's just too slow. Transactions can't really run properly. So what Movement enables is high throughput execution. So we actually will probably be the hub for meme coins on Ethereum just because you can do high throughput trading. We're also very degen and Web3 native team. So we're actually prioritizing meme coins and trading culture.
Okay, so do you notice any like difference in comparison with the East and the West users, their attitude, I mean, towards meme coin and the other trading?
Yeah, I think the Western users are like maybe focused on celeb coins because like Ezelia and all these celebrities are doing meme coins, while Eastern culture is probably more focused on what I've seen is a lot of Bitcoin like ordinals and more focused on like, the actual trading culture. While I think Western is more focused on the hype and celebrities and also some trading. We'll see how that pans out. I think the markets kind of took a little hit, so we'll see if meme coins actually last.
Yeah. So do you have your team have preferences based on the user base in different regions or like let's say they consist of your users? What's the consist of your users?
Can you repeat that? Sorry, last second. What is our user base?
Yes. Do you have a preferences? What is there that more like Western users or what?
Yeah, I think what we're noticing is our biggest community is actually Eastern. So Indonesia, Taiwan, Korea, pretty big users for us. That's kind of where a lot of our community is from. But I think uniquely, we have a big African community. So moving Ghana, moving Nigeria, we've been seeing a lot of users, community meetups and stuff, as well as Latin America. So I would say it's more than just East. It's also like Africa, Latin America that we get pretty big impact.
Well, that's really diverse. That's really diverse. That's more diverse.
Yep.
A lot of layer ones actually, I think.
Yep.
So
Yep.
let's talk about the airdrop description, because I think
Yep.
recently like a lot of people are criticized about the airdrop. I think
Yep.
yes. So does the movement team have any new ideas on the token distribution and the how to anti-sable? I mean, do you have any strategies different
Yeah.
chains?
We're thinking through a few ideas right now. One idea that's really cool that we're calling a G-Move campaign, where we're going to announce like we have like a whole points program, and one of them is whoever tweets the most amount of G-Moves on Twitter, we're going to track and reward them. But that's just an idea we're having. I'm still working with a few community members, seeing what's interesting. But I think like a lot of the layer zero, ZK Syncs, etc., they had a lot of expectations. So a lot of farmers farmed it, expected a large airdrop, and then they got upset when there wasn't a lot of value to the airdrop. I think with us and what like Blast and a few of the teams are doing is making the airdrop criteria very transparent, saying if you do these actions, if you earn these points, if you earn these trophies, that qualifies you for X amount of reward, and have more transparency. Whereas what like other layer ones and layer twos have done, they kind of leave it up to the users and there's like confusion for how much airdrop criteria. Whereas if you can make it more transparent and have a leaderboard and kind of gamify it more, people will be more happy with that.
Yeah, but because I think the reason why there has been a lot of criticism recently, because it's so different. The cycle is so different than last cycle. So it's not only because there are more speculations, it's because I think all the projects needs to think what kind of the users, valuable users they want. So they can
Yep.
set their strategies accordingly. So do your team had the internal like discussion about the what kind of the criteria that we will value our users that when we set the rules?
Yeah, I think the users that are doing community meetups, so we have like Move in Nigeria, Move in Ghana, Move in Indonesia. If you're organizing meetups, organizing community efforts, you'll be put into like a priority. If you're building apps, if you're tweeting Gmove, even if you're a real user, that's obviously the priority compared to airdrop farmers. But obviously, it's like how do you prevent against civil? So there's a few ways you can do that through like Discord verification, through like Twitter verification, and then when you're actually building apps, those that actually have full front ends and not just spam GitHub commits, which I see a few L2s have done. So you want to prioritize users that are power users, that are core community members instead of the civil farmers, I'd say.
Yeah. So I think my next question is about I want to talk about the parallel solutions more. So how do you perceive the landscape of parallel executions? Because there are
Yeah.
a lot of other solutions.
Yep. So you have like on the layer ones, you have like monads, say, that are doing parallel EVMs. I think the way we approach it is we're on Ethereum, so you'll have Ethereum liquidity, you'll have Ethereum security and decentralization. So it's a layer two. And the second thing is we're actually focusing on Move as a parallelization engine. So it's not just a parallel EVM. You have the ability to write Move and get the benefits of Move security. Every year, there's $4.5 billion lost in smart contract hacks. Move is the only framework that can stop those attacks at real time. It's like the firewall for crypto. So what we're doing is bringing the Move language and the Move security principles to Ethereum.
Okay. So what type of the apps that you think could accelerate the adoption of parallel executions in the future?
Yeah, so I think like fully on-chain consumer apps, we have a lot of trading and trading competitions and social apps really on top of them. One of them we're really excited about is Bracket, which is a fully on-chain competition platform. So you can do like basketball, March Madness competitions, sports betting, fully on-chain competitions without needing to use like a centralized database. So we're seeing the fully on-chain gaming and fully on-chain competitions as a key use cases. And then we have a cool partnership with IONET coming up to do decentralized GPUs on a movement chain. We're excited to announce that over the next few weeks. And then, yeah, I would say like decentralized AI, parallelized execution enables more like easy compute between different nodes, as well as having fully on-chain social and gaming.
Okay, so it's like equal, like social gamify AI. You think it's gonna be the probability is like the same to be the killer apps on chain?
Well, I would say it's the consumer-focused apps, right? So, for example, like DeFi doesn't need that high throughput. Like if you're using lending market, it's fine to use Aave on Ethereum right now. But what's really important is if you're doing a fully on-chain order book where there's high throughput and low latency required, or if you're doing a fully on-chain game, that's pretty important to have transactions occurring concurrently. Or on-chain betting, you need to know where your counterparty is trading. So when it's more consumer-focused and high, like a lot of transactions flowing per second, it's very, very important that you have that fully on-chain.
Okay, so my last questions. So do you have any like specific informations or new coming informations you want to deliver to our audience?
For like you want communication to deliver to audience? What
Yeah,
was the question?
yes. The other messages that you would like to add on regarding the development of movement they want to deliver to
Yep.
our audience in the at last.
Yeah, so I'd say we have testnet coming up in the next 2 weeks, mid-July. So you can use a testnet, use the ecosystem apps. We have over 10 projects that have raised capital, native projects, so over $50-60 million to the Mood ecosystem already. We have, I would say, hundreds of like 250 million plus committed in TVL, So we're going to be the really like vibrant DeFi ecosystem with key DeFi apps, as well as consumer apps and ample liquidity. And most importantly, our community is very important to us. So we have a pretty big movement Gorillas community, having global meetups. So feel free to reach out if you're interested.
So community, do you have any events here in Asia to the upcoming events or any like incentive like activities recently?
Yeah. We're announcing incentivized testnet, so you can use a testnet and have possibility for future rewards like airdrops and stuff. We'll have more information coming out mid-July on the points programs that we're rolling out. So just wait for that.
Yeah. So people pay attention. So
Yep.
thank you for today's podcast, and thank you for your time. Good luck with the movement project.
Thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Yes. I think you that we are really efficient today.
Yeah.
So thank you. Goodbye. Have a good night.
Yeah. You too.